What's up, dudes? Today is the 1st of March, 2020, and a cat just ran across the road. It wasn't a black cat, so it's okay. Take these out. So, dudes, what's up? Been a while since I made a video, like a long time since I made a video. You guys are basically graduating college now, so there's that. Yeah, so 1st of March, 2020. 2022, oh my word. The world is still here. You can see there's still houses and people are still living their lives. COVID did not take us down. There's so much political. I'm not going to get into the political stuff about all that because that's boring. That's not interesting to you guys. But it was a mess. The whole thing was a mess. Everybody, it's still there. Like, people are still getting COVID. I think I've had it twice. Jen's probably had it twice. We got vaccinated. We haven't gotten boosters. But it's still out there, and it's still a thing, and there's different variants, like different versions that are coming around, and they're like, oh, no, it's this one or that one, or So they had Delta, which was really deadly, and then they had Omicron. These are all named after Greek letters of the Greek alphabet. And that one was not very deadly at all, but everybody got it. So it's like everybody was getting COVID, they're sick for a few days, and then like life is back to normal. For most people, generalities. You'll be watching this and you'll be like, yeah, but people died, Dad. So that happened. So it's still out there, it's still a thing, but like in our state here in Missouri, you haven't had to wear a mask in months, and most places like a business, you walk in and they're not wearing masks. Sometimes at restaurants they're wearing masks, but like I was even at a restaurant the other day, and it was like, if our employees are fully vaccinated, we don't make them wear masks. Like, that's what it said on the door. And I'm like, okay, like, that's your deal. Good, way to go. School has been school now. Okay, it's the 1st of March, and it's like 70 degrees outside. Beautiful. But last week it was like 2 degrees outside. There was snow and ice everywhere. You might still see, the camera doesn't really pick stuff up outside, but every once in a while you'll see a little pile of snow left over. And then the week before that, it was snow, and like lots of snow, like, or maybe it was 2 weeks before that. I don't know, but there was snow, like snow, like multiple inches, like 5 or 6 inches of snow on the ground. And then that stuck around for a little while, and then right about the time you think that's about to all go away, it iced and did an icy, kind of icky, not fun to go out in snow. So we just got out of that. So you guys have really, I think you've had 1 day of school since Christmas break. Like, it's been bad, because there was President's Day, that was Monday, you got that off, and then it snowed, so you got Wednesday and Friday off, and then you're supposed to go in, but it was so cold that on Monday they canceled it, and then it snowed the next Wednesday and Friday, and it's just like, you guys have been to school, I think maybe 1 day, and then you finally went back yesterday. So that's 2 days since Christmas break that I think you've been back in school, and then you go back tomorrow. So rested. We're trying to get you into NCA for your elementary school. So kindergarten, but elementary school. So NCA, that's where Michael and McKenna go. We want to get you in there. So you went. We've signed you up, and we filled out the applications and all the stuff. There's lots of stuff you got to do and agree to, and all that sort of stuff. So we did that, and then you went and did, like, I don't really know how to call it, like an assessment, I guess, but I don't really know if it's an assessment. It's just like, hey, where are you at in life? So I guess it's assessment. but it's more like they play with you and just hang out and talk to you than like, you know, a quiz or a test, because, right? So you're 5.5. Jen told me that today. She's like, he's 5.5. He's probably closer to 6. So we got to do the math and see like where you are in the calendar. But so we don't know how that went. Like they didn't be like, yeah, he passed, or they're like, nope, he's an idiot, which you're not. You're kind of brilliant, actually. So sorry, I have to merge, and I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So we asked you, we were like, so what did you do? Like, what did they have you do? And you were like, I know what I did, but I don't know what it was. We're like, so can you just tell us what you did? And you're like, no, I don't know what it was. And I'm like, but apparently, like, they sit you down and have you do a puzzle, and they sit you down and they talk to you about colors and shapes and words and letters and all that sort of stuff, just to kind of make sure that like you meet this generic baseline of like, this is what you should know coming into this. So which you know because you've been in preschool for 2 years, so you know you can already count to 100. You were counting to 100 today, so you get hung up around 70, sometimes 60, 70 gets a little, you know, but if you can get past like 63, you know, then you got it. But so you're doing that this morning. Rested, you're still not eating great. You eat a lot. Like, you're a healthy, like, full of energy, rambunctious, like, when you punch me, it hurts. Like, when we wrestle, it's for real. So you're not like sickly, and you're not like anemic or, you know, unhealthy, but you could be a lot healthier, were you to eat a broader range of food, to get more nutritious food. Plus, like, think how much fuller your life would be if you started eating grapes and strawberries and chicken and cheeseburgers and hot dogs and mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese, grilled cheese sandwiches. But it doesn't interest you. So we've been praying about it, praying for years about it, and we decided to do a couple of things. First, we got you to see a specialist. We're having you see a specialist, and she's kind of like what your pawpaw is to the church world. She's like that for kid doctors. So you go to her and she listens to like what you do and what you need and what you've already done and what you're hoping to achieve, and then she connects you to the right people. So she's this connector, and that's what your pawpaw does. People come to him and they're like, hey, I have this problem and I need help in XYZ, and he's like, yeah, I know somebody that does that, and they do blah blah blah, and here's their information, and here you go talk to them, and then, by the way, you probably need help with da 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 da, so let's get that going, you know. And he's this connector, and so that's what she is. And so you have a new doctor, which you just saw today. You met your doctor, and they, poor buddy, they give you shots and a flu shot, and they drew blood and the whole thing, which I wasn't expecting that to happen. We didn't know that was going to happen. I mean, we should have known, I guess, but I don't know. And then you also saw the dentist, and the dentist says you already have a wiggly tooth. So at 5.5, you already have a wiggly tooth. So I don't know how that works, but you do. So I don't know. So you had that today, but this connector has already given us some ideas of like how to get you to just interact with food without having to worry about eating food and the pressure of eating food. So like smashing food, smelling food, watching us make food, you know, just playing, goofing around. You know, if you don't like your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, then grab a piece of paper and just smear it all over the piece of paper. Like, you know, kind of interacting with stuff versus like the pressure of I have to eat this, so that you're kind of okay with having it around you and that sort of stuff. So anyway, But then she's also gonna like get us in touch with more people that can help more that are specific for food, not disorders necessarily, but like just kids who are picky eaters or kids who are like don't want to eat. So that's going on in your life. But the other thing we decided to do at the same time as that was we decided to fast and pray about it. And so Jen and I have been fasting and praying. We did it for 3 days. We didn't eat any food because that's what we were fasting for, was you and food. So we were like, well, let's just fast to eating. Like, let's not eat for a few days. So we did 3 days, and during those 3 days, we were really fasting that you would be, and praying that you would be excited and interested and have a wonder, and there's an A word that I'm looking for, adventurous, be more adventurous in your eating, but that hasn't happened yet. But you have started kind of being more adventurous in the sense of being like, hey, I want to try that, or hey, we were in the supermarket the other day and you're like, can I try orange juice? And I'm like, yeah, you can try orange juice. Let's get you some orange juice. And you've tried some different juices, and you've tried different foods, and you've taken bites of different things, and you've been like, you know what, I don't like that. And we're like, okay, whatever. But you've been eating better generally. You have been trying new things pretty regularly. You don't always like them. But you have been, eating a little better. So we'll see, where this takes us. So we're working on that. And you're just overall like giant, tall, strong, muscular, just boy. But you're like the best kid ever, and you're super intelligent and smart, and we just love you to death. Hudson, you are in this like super adorable snuggly stage right now, which P.S. Hudson, you've been resting, you've been snuggling a lot on your dad. But Hudson, just overall, you've been in a super snuggly, just like lovey-dovey sweetness mode. And Reston's even like, he's so sweet, look at him, he's so sweet. And you're just over there like destroying something, which is your other thing right now. You're in the, I want to like rip that apart mode, and I want to smash that off the couch mode, and I'm going to take a bite of this apple, and I'm going to chew this apple up, and then I'm just going to like throw it on the floor mode. So you're a little tyrant, and you're sweet and snuggly and adorable at the same time. So it's like God knows how to make humans so that the adults want to keep them around, because you're this perfect mix of like destruction and like I never want to put you down, but then you like smack me in the face and I'm like, okay, I gotta get rid of you, go do something else. So but you're super totes adorable. You got tubes in your ears because you weren't talking very much, and you were getting lots of ear infections, and when you did talk it was kind of mumbly. So that's kind of changed, and you haven't had any ear infections since you got the tubes in. We thought maybe you had like one slight, like minor, but it went away. We didn't even really give you ibuprofen, I don't think, maybe once, but it went away. And your speech has improved drastically. You talk nonstop all the time. You tell stories about like, I was over there and that guy, he looked at me and I was like, what are you? And he was a bird, and I was like, I like birds, I want to pet you. And then I went over there, but then he was like, wow. And I was like, are you a bear? And he was like, yeah, I'm a bear actually. And so I was like, oh, he's a bear. But then he said, I'm a nice bear. You tell stories like, and you'll just sit in my lap and tell stories, and you'll sit in Aunt Kara's lap and Mom's lap and everybody's lap. You'll just sit in their lap and just tell them stories, and it's amazing. You are like the bestest storyteller. So, oh, my phone's getting hot. So you're just amazing. You're just an amazing kid, and we love you. You're in preschool, so you're gonna have 3 years, I think, of preschool before you go to kindergarten. But you've been out of school too. It's been tough because when you're out of school and it's icy and like 2 degrees outside, nobody wants to go do anything, right? Like nobody wants to. Who wants to go do anything? So, we try to come up with fun stuff to do, but there's not a lot you can do. So we have a bounce house that we can blow up in the house. And you guys jump in that, but then inevitably somebody's like, Hudson, and Reston, buddy, you're the rule maker, man. You play games, but it's like all rules, and it's all like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, that, that. But then this means that. But then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do this, that. Then that's gonna do it. And I'm like, oh my word, so many rules. How do you? And Hudson is too. So Hudson, you're like, I'm fed up with this. Like, I can't play right, like, because he's not letting me do that. And so I just want to jump around and like play. Hudson, Mama won't let me play with a bouncy and a kitty cat. So, there's been a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth lately. But it's because we're all crammed up. And even me, like, I have to work from the house for like 3 days in a row. And it kind of sucks. I mean, I like it because I can just jump up from my work and go like grab you guys and snuggle your faces off. But, I'm also at the same time like having to hear all of your fights and all of your stuff, and I want to jump up and be like, stop it, stop doing that. Why are you doing that? But I was like, I also got to work, so it's tough. What else? Just our like family life. Your grandma and papa bought some land that's next to Uncle David's house, and it had a house on it, so they're in the middle of remodeling that. So that's been a long kind of journey of getting that property, starting the remodeling process, and now they're in the middle of remodeling, which I haven't been over there in a few days to see how it's going, but it's amazing fast, quick, these remodel things. Your mom and I, we've pretty much settled on a house plan. We've looked at how much it would cost to get that done. We've looked at how much of a loan we can get and how much money we make and all this stuff. And so there's a lot of wishy-washy stuff there right now because of the way that I'm paid. Because I work for Papa, but he doesn't pay me. He pays me, but he doesn't pay me. So what he does is he pays me a little bit to have in the bank account so that I have like a little bit of money coming in through the bank account. But then most of what we do is we just use the company's card and we just charge it to the company. And so like when we need clothes, we just put it on that card. And when we just need groceries, we put it on that card. Or when we need to like pay our cell phone bills, it just gets paid by the company. So it doesn't look like we make a lot of money. It looks like we're poor, but we're actually not. We actually make really good money. So I was going to turn the camera around, but I can't right now. There's a car sitting right here, and it's like completely demolished, bashed, like smashed in. So we're working on that whole thing with Papa about like, hey, how do we work it out so that I actually get paid more money in the bank and we use your card less, so that I could go to a bank and get a loan because I'm actually making enough money to get a home loan. So we're working through that process. Still trying to really nail down the house plan, but I think we've got it there. So we're doing that. I think what else? I'm still working for the same company, doing the same thing. I'm traveling a little bit. I've had to go to California, and I almost had to go to Dallas. which I still might have to do sometime soon. Here in the next few weeks or months, I might have months I have to go to North Carolina, or South Carolina, North Carolina. So that's fun. But we're looking forward to spring. We're looking forward to nicer weather. We want to go camping with you guys this spring. So we got to figure out what that looks like, because Reston, you will not give up on camping. You ask about camping for a while it was every day. Now it's kind of every week. But now that it's getting nicer outside, I think you're going to start asking again. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm almost to work. I love you guys. You're super sweet. You're super smart. And you're just super spectacular. Here's our building. Let's see. That one right there. That guy. Right there. That one. That's our building. So, that Daddy works at every day. So, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.